Hello, I'm Atubo George, and I'm bringing God's truth to you again today. Now, we're still talking about prayer, how to make your prayer effective. And we've been talking about humility. I don't seem to be able to leave this point on humility, because you see, everything is tied to it. Now, that's why I've been trying to explain something to you, that the reason you should be humble, the reason you should humble yourself. Now, being humble is not about, okay, sir, anything you say, sir. No. It's just like when we say someone is meek. The fact that somebody is acting cool and quiet doesn't mean he's meek. You can only be meek when you understand your worth, your full worth. And then you decide to operate less than that full worth by choice. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. For example, you are so strong, physically. Strong physically. One slap you will give to somebody to send the person somewhere else. But you see, and the person is coming and charging at you and talking to you and telling you and hitting you. And then you just look at the person and you say, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to even say anything to you. Now that's meekness. Do you understand? So not every quiet person is meek. Some might be quiet because they are scared. Praise God. You can be big and then you see this small guy just shouting and you're just like, maybe this guy has something that I don't know about, so let me just be quiet. Now that's not meekness. See, meekness is a choice thing. Praise God. Now, the same thing with humility. Humility is not because someone has pounded you down and then now you're just humble. Say, you see how humble is. No, that's not humility. Humility is a choice. You make up your mind to be humble. Now that's when it is an honor to the Lord. So now here, He commands us. God commands us here. He says, humble yourself therefore under the mighty hand of God. It's a command. So what do? You bring yourself to that place of humility. The same thing with David. I've talked to you about Abraham. I've talked to you about Joseph. Let's talk about David. The same thing with David. Now, do you know what it is for you doing your job, just serving God and doing what you know how to do, and then a certain day, someone comes to you and said, hey, Dave, you're needed at home. Oh, what's going on? There's some old prophet that wants to see you. Prophet, see me. I hope I've not done anything wrong. No, he said he's not sitting down until you come. What do you mean? He's standing and he told your dad he's not sitting until you come. And that's a serious matter. And then he goes there and meets the prophet. And the prophet said, kneel down. And then the prophet said, look, God has anointed you to become king over Israel. Okay. Thank you. So, and that's all. So what am I supposed to do? Nothing. All right. Now, the same David was doing his job one day. Now, I want you to follow the sequence. He has just been told that this is the word of the Lord to you. You will be king. Then one day, someone comes to meet him and says, hey, Dave, you're needed at home. What's going on? Someone from the palace. Okay? What's going on? The prophet said, I'll be king. King stay in the palace. Now, someone says, someone from the palace is looking for me. And then he goes and says, look, the king wants you. For what? He wants you to come and play harp for him. Why? No, he has this issue. Whenever it comes on him, he needs someone to play. And we know you can play. Okay. Well, he's the king. You can't say no. So he went and then he began to play for Saul. Now, according to the scriptures, this happened even before Goliath, the Goliath experience. Now, you know the whole story of David. But there is something you're going to find in David's life, and that is humility. David humbled himself under the mighty hand of God. He knew at some point Saul was after his life. But guess what? When he got opportunity twice to kill Saul, now think about it. This man is lying down. And all his men were either lying down and drunk with sleep, or they were not there. And here you are. This is the problem of your life. If you trust this spare through his heart, he dies. All your problems over. For how long now, David, you have not been at home? You've been running from one bush to the other. Now, this is the problem. See him lying down there. Trust the spare through him. He dies. Your problem is over. Not just that your problems are over. You become the king that God said you will be. Remember, you know the Spirit of God have left this man already. And the Spirit of God is upon you. Now, do you know what it was for David with the understanding that the Spirit of God have left Saul, yet he still submitted to Saul all the days of Saul's life? What do you think David was doing? Stupid? No, David walked in understanding. He knew he had to humble himself under the mighty hand of God. So God will exalt him in due season. Now look at all these people I've mentioned. Question is, how did their lives end up? Did God exalt them in their due season? Of course he did. And he did it in a big way. Praise God. He exalted Abraham. He exalted Joseph. You know, Joseph became so big. He became the most important personality in the whole world. Have you realized that? The whole world was going to Egypt for food because there was famine everywhere. Now, that's what he means. Now, would you wait for God to exalt you? Would you wait for your due season to come for God to lift you up? And that's why I'm sharing these things with you. Now, tomorrow, I'll begin to show you how this connects with your daily prayer life. Praise God. I'm Atubo George. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.